back again here on Z Corner, and we are going to be talking about a lot of different things. Today's show is going to be very exciting. Of course, I have my co host, Mr. Morton Massinino, who's going to be joining us as usual because today we are going to be talking about the latest news as far as Faith Musonda's case is concerned. We're also going to be talking about load shedding because a lot of Zambians are experiencing load shedding. So there is something sinister happening with regards to our electricity. Is it economic and political sabotage? Are we going to continue experiencing all this? So we're also going to end up, talking about the Drug Enforcement Commission and the SEC as well. So just based on the topics, right, we are going to be talking about a lot of exciting stuff. So before we jump into today's episode, I am kindly asking you to share this video right now on your timeline and in 5 different Zambian groups because we need to let the people know that Z Corner is definitely live. Without further ado, let me allow my co-host, Mr. Morton Massinino, to introduce himself and welcome to the show, sir. How are you doing this evening?
Good evening, Zambia. Good evening, my co-host Muna. Today I've had a very hectic day, and here we are blessed with a lot of rains. It rained otherwise. It rains.
More
It
October.
rained otherwise.
In October, it's raining. Hmm.
Yes, my dear. You know when you have God has been very faithful with Zambia. He has given us a new president, and you just have to give us different things altogether. And we experienced heavy rains where I am today.
Ba de sana ba hichilema.
Yes,
Everything is making sense.
yes,
hmm So anyway, sir, today, just like we talked about, right now, tukwatefia kulanda po ifingi pento avena Zambia, we are running out of patience and we
yes,
need results. And one of the things that
yeah,
I would love to talk about with regards to our culture in Zambia is we need to be result orientated. We need
yeah,
to judge people based on results because if you see what usually happens is, let's say, for example, a new position is given in Zambia.
yeah.
In order for this contract to sort of, they usually give time frame contracts. They usually give people, I'm a 3-year contracts and all that stuff, especially Muma government positions. This is
Mm,
one of the reasons why we are not very efficient because abantu tabakwata pressure in order for them to get results. This is one of the reasons why
yeah,
we really slack and we are not very efficient in terms of producing results. So this is one of the reasons
yeah,
I'm really recommending the UPND government to come up with a KPI type of approach where people are given specific targets and tasks to perform. This is one of the reasons nga twamfabe kuri ba DEC, kuri ba ACC, we just keep on hearing, sensationalized type of information without actually getting tangible results. Even if we look at things like
yeah,
ZESCO, Taperi we don't even see any progress and any improvements because people are always relaxed. So we need to have, indicators and targets so that we can have efficient results. So instead of having time contracts, right? Whereby somebody is given a position saying for 3 years they're going to play this and that important role. What we need to do is we need to give them targets. We need to tell them in this period and time frame, right? You need to produce these and those types of results so that we can have efficient and better implementations of different things that we need, especially as Zambians, because I'm a Zambians, we really want to see change and we need to start producing results. So with that said, right now, we're not really going to go into details with regards to Faith Musonda's, case because it's an ongoing case. But we need to find out the updates and just basically get to hear what the DEC and the SEC have been working on. So, what do you think about this whole situation with regards to Faith Musonda and similar type of people?
Thank you, Muna, and thank you, viewers. I think in my opinion, kutinalanda okweba ati ba DEC na ba ACC bapose kwa mano because icho nalanda ati bapose kwa mano ichakweba ati UPND is a government ni government ile showing that change. We don't want to see things that we used to see in the PF in this new dawn government.
Mm-hmm.
Ba DEC na bonsa bali involved mu kuchita pursue this matter. Bafuire baishi bokuba ati Faith Musonda, Zambia is bigger than her, and no one is above the law. And okusunga olupiyo olwingi munganda mulandu ifi FRS tikana munshita shaba MMD weni bali abamudala bali bashikire ndala meshing sana muchola munganda. Okay, so if at all these people they deal in genuine business, why what is it that they are scared or afraid of? Instead of banking the money ku bank bale sungire mpia munganda, meaning aba abantu bapupu. Okay, meaning abantu bapupu tabalefwaya government ikwate mo tax nangu tabalefwaya fwebe na Zambia because government ya Zambia ni fwebo fwebe na Zambia. We are the one fweba pango buteko. Okay, so government ya Zambia ni nebo ne masinino, meaning ababonsa balesunge ndalama mumayanda like our sister Faith Musonda. If at all that money is genuine, ni shitaire sungira shire mpia ku bank so that at least inene masinino nkwate motachi. Uku kwata motachi sinzi ndi buteko. Fwire twaputula mu tax mulya asongera pakupapa akukwata okumusungira kiri ekyuma. Okay, nomba ena ayasunga kiri ndalama mungani, meaning that money is not genuine. That is my opinion. So ba DEC na bonsa bali involved tabalingire bale mama nshisha pali ututuma papali ayama issues ero ama issues ali mu public interest. Ba DEC na bashala bonse nama all security wings bafire ba making sure that umulandu nga chakwati waletwa pa lwalala balingire ba posesha kwa mano so that abena Zambia baleko kwata ma speculations. Otherwise if intunga chakwati fyambo okulako kola if kwete fintu fili straightforward ne fishing fili ero balambo kufula kokosha balalenga abantu bambi okulato ntonkanya that we are still in PF. We are in the new dawn. The new dawn government must come up with the first means of doing things so that if intufyaenda munkonka wangu. Otherwise, I'm very, very much interested in seeing Faith Musonda's case what to rest and on good note. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
On good note. Yes.
All of him before Kulanda ko, because a lot of people might be thinking we are just here to sort of, we chant and make the PF people pay. The most important thing that we need to understand is, especially with regards to corruption, and right now I'm not really talking about Faith Musonda in particular. This is just in general issues of corruption. Right? We are not going to be able to help abana banshiwa ama orphanzi abakotevesu then foods even developing. So this is one of the reasons why we need to make sure that we've got a zero tolerance to corruption as our culture. It's supposed to be part of our culture. Uvupupu, no kula ivida, money from public coffers. We're just, preventing ourselves from progressing because abade chula muzambia na abafula abengi. Abade chula vengi sana abakote ama pensioners kule ama pensioners abengi abatabakwete ama benefits yabo bali bombere chalo bali lwala because bali bomba mamaini ama lungs yali onaika but takuli mpia kuma pensions. But we have people who are taking advantage of their positions and the government coffers that we have. So and then DEC na SEC has to play a key and major role so that bonse abantu badekwata ama benefit abana bansho bakalafwa abakote bakalafwa bamoton muletira poshan
muntu. And just in addition to that, you know, corruption is as deadly as disobeying God's commandments. Corruption is as deadly as getting a knife no kwamba kula saulo muntu palwalala. That is what corruption is. It is because of the corruption that the massive corruption that was engulfed mu PF echalengesha makada zukula mukuma ola ba polisi pa police station. It is because of corruption that was engulfed in the rampant corruption that was in the PF. Echalengeshe ba president tukulando kwe bati ba former president kwe bati ulia mwibala bomba mwibala, because the PF party of PF was a party of the impious people who do feel they are doing the right thing, but whilst marrying ububi bwabo bale bushinga pabantu. If you remember very well, my friend Muna, when the police, when that killing of Unsamansama and Joseph Kaunda happened in Lusaka, okay, straightforward things, straightforward issues, they started smelling the whole rubbish on a church. To say no, a church inga taire na abantu kulia abantu bali abantu nga tabafuire. That rubbish, okay, that rubbish. Why? Because these people, their minds, their frontal lobe, and their whatever mind yavoyena, it was so sophisticated such that bali sana deep into corruption. So corruption brings about tribalism. Corruption brings about, because mudala ichalo echikwete corruption, ichalo mwaba corruption. Judiciary, you cannot trust the judiciary. In the nation where they celebrate corruption, you cannot celebrate a transparency. Mufialo mwaba corruption, there is no accountability. Muchalo mwabula corruption mudala abantu bepa yanafye gena mashampang. Okay, because whatever you do, your mind is centered on corruption, such that ngana umo muntu lero Mr. Muna na alafe pali ba police mbapere shingoko because they are also sick. Sorry, I'm not saying the police officers are sick. No, I'm just citing this as an example. Mwana sango kwa ati ba polisi bala apoka kalya ili oba apoka kalya inene uli no mulandu balande ngo kubo wakayere limbi bachitikishe oli omwine wa mulandu. So that is what corruption does. Moreover, my friend Muna, it is corruption that led the falling of Satan from heaven. Corruption. It is corruption that has brought about death. So corruption is a very, very bad vice. But President Ichilema and the UPND government should make sure that they fight corruption tooth and nail. Whosoever is involved, whosoever was involved and whosoever is involved must be brought to book, because if Massinino was involved, Massinino is just a single entity, it's just a single individual, whereby Zambia is bigger than Massinino. So why should the state save the interest of Massinino instead of saving the interest of the majority, the 19 million Zambians? So Vadek na bonsa involved must make sure that Fuevena Zambia tufire tuata conclude kwe bati awo yumulandu chachi ne wapwa elo wapwa bwino, because Bible yalando kwa bati ngacha kwa bati waiba baringire bakutasalenda kuli bakapokola baringire bakutasalenda kuchile cha milandu ichile cha milandu chifwe cha kutasalenda kujere procedure na protocol yaba mu Bible iya mupupu muntu kavolala. So we are not saying that we, the PF people, we are here to witch hunt them. We are here to do, a wrong is a wrong. We have to call a spade a spade. There's a lot of things that has happened in this country, whereby, my friend Muna, if I take you back, we had we had by-elections in Rwanda. where a group of cadres from Lusaka vaishireisa kulwansha nokonaula motoka ya mwamo na engineering and the person walimfira nokumva kwati umuntu umo bali puma baipaya ero nomba because of corruption. This is what we are saying. Abantu baishibyo kuba tuli omuntu bamumine fye bamwipaya. Okay, ama result ya isafu mokuba tuli omuntu ali kweteka tulinga ni malaria anga nishani buli obulwere. Where imyo shabantu shakaele shirefyengerwa muno okulafuiramu. Why? Because some few individuals in the system are corrupt. We should not protect and we should not put this into an habit whereby we should be cultivating corruption day, night, in the morning, in the noon, and in the night. No, we need UPND government must make sure that they put to an end corruption in this country.
Yes, and we should make it part of our culture. Ukuivira abalanda, ukuivira obuteko. It shouldn't be something that we should be condoning. As much as the turanda pama LGBT shanama gay rights randa, this is not part of our culture. We need to make sure that abantu sovola, it should be an abomination. And we need to make sure that we have a precedence for the public so that they can see. Abade kulava ichibakana monatanga, waivire obuteko, it won't end up very good for you. And this is one of the reasons why to further to appear pressure by DEC na by ACC because of President Hichida Manavala and that DEC and ACC and all the investigative wings have got autonomous power to conduct their businesses. So instead of just putting pressure kuri konsekuma areas, right, we also need to put pressure, especially kuri bada abe kandida pama positions ba DEC because they are the ones who are supposed to give and they are supposed to be giving us results. This is one of the reasons why in the beginning I talked about giving indicators of progress, KPIs, that's what we call them, key progress indicators. So in the next 3 months, that there are significant changes. We need to change then the team at DEC and ACCA, and ACC. We need to change them and give people, allow other people who've got the will and they've got the capabilities of doing investigations as well. So about pressure, yala double. Kuriba ACC concept for that pressure because we need results.
Yes, I think just to add on that one, Mr. Muna. Muchibanza cha bola abantu nga balete ya bola era umbi alete ya madongo tulasabula. Okay, tulasabula. And so ba President Ichilema bafuire koswenga akokola esa na mukuzembulula amanga ya kumolu nishina ulala. Aleri amanga ya kumolu aleputa kono kuputa so that ule umfobukali. So the president must make sure that aba bomfi babuteko bale chinjanya because kuti baamba okulachita n'otuntoto tabalingire bale bachinjako ero nangu ni mu police service ba police balingire bale kwata kwa ma transfers uyu ba mutwalo oku of course alingire okwenda n'abakashi ichalo tulingire okulachingirira polisi nga chakobati bafuiri aba bomfi babuteko bale bachinja pantu koswenga akokola munganda esa na sitting room mwamba nokwakana na nkotu sabi na kandolo. So they must make sure that they are shuffling these people, transferring these people so much that muleba transparency na accountability mufia abantu bale pyunga mukati kama offices ya buteko. Very important.
Although not Fifi, there's a lot of people who are looking for these opportunities. Vengi abantu abakwete amaka yakubombera DEC na ACC. So what we need to do is to pay our results, to pay 3 months, 4 months, or whatever period. If they don't give us any results, we reshuffle and we give other people opportunities to work so that abantu bale kwata ida mentality ya kupangama results and making things work. Otherwise, if we just keep on relaxing and giving them leg way to just give us sensational news, invested without seeing any follow through, this will continue. So once a good deck by ACC, it's time to pull up your socks. We're going to advocate for the rinsing and changing of your whole team if we're not getting any results, because Zambian people have been waiting for this mandate for a very long period of time. Orama Yutsi spent a lot of time queuing. They were queuing Muvushku just to make sure that we've got this change. So the change is supposed to, continue being pursued.
Yeah.
Boss, twarala nakona nedia shidia political and economic sabotage with regards kuma ZESCO. All of which ZESCO is also another area. A lot of Zambians are complaining, load shedding, day in, day out. 20 years to quite the same problem. What is happening to ZESCO and why are we not seeing any improvement? So, what do you think about this political and economic environment that is being created by the intensive load shedding? Because during our elections, do you remember load shedding yadisapo? Kuna kuma 2 months, 3 months load shedding to adisa labako. But what happened after elections? Is it because Kuzesko kudiba PF abaleshta, trying to create this atmosphere to make the Zambian people hate the new Dawn government, or what exactly is happening?
Yeah, this is the reason why Muna yesterday we advised the president and the powers that be that they have to be very very careful in the manner if you balesala abantu abafuye okubombera abantu, because like I said yesterday that abena Zambia bafinine ekipute ekishirapya nokulengesha kuba ati ababantu bakwata that pain is the reason why they are doing all this. So now simple and straightforward nga kyakuba twasanga fwe bena Zambia kwe bati ku ZESCO road shedding nichi twala kwatira road shedding. Honestly speaking, when towards election elections we had bali vikire to one end road shedding uko nale ikala ine muntu wandita kwali po road shedding ngani road shedding ni 2-3 not even 2 hours 30 minutes amalaiti yabwera. What the new Dawn government must understand is that road shedding inga yabwera bulwele bumobo abali mukataka chipani cha ZESCO benga fwayo kuleta especially inga chakwati mulimbala leshi abola mu ZESCO. What I mean is, especially mu ZESCO nga chakoba tukulya kumulu kulimbala leshi abola ishingarenga ilio tureli embalala liyo wasuma fye muri rumolu abola shonse mukanwa sha mfika tinashibola. So the powers, the appointing authority must make sure that abantu abalevika kulia they are going there with one heart and with the heart and the mind of changing Zambia into a new dawn, not still Zambia to be like we are still in the night, like we are still in the dark. When we say we are in the new dawn government, we expect total transformation of into a new dawn, into good things. If we used to experience road shedding, are you aware, Mr. Muna, that ayengama hospitals Muzambia tabakwatama generators whereby ayama automatic generators are connected on automatic whereby ama lighting ya automatically generator ya ambokta supply power such that umuntu nga chakwati atibako oxygen edwa ama light ya for 30 minutes. You don't expect that life. So abaleipa ya bantu tekweba fyati yo ni bali abatumbula nangu bashani nama system ya buteko yalelenge myoshimbisha abantu ishali ba so productive ishilingiro okutwala Zambia kuntanshi bafuira panshira. So road shedding wa ZESCO balingire bayipero omuchinshi umuchinshi tatushita yo umuchinshi tatushita umuchinshi wisa fyo wine abantu pako bati bachindike obuteko obulipo abantu abali panshi balingire bakwata okuyichindika bwino sana in the manner they are conducting the daily affairs of the nation, such that abantu bakwata bakwate confidence mu buteko obulipo bali abantu abo basonte lyo kubombera abantu balingire babomba ukana akwata omuchisha kinani. In this case I'm saying fintu fingi fyo nayi kama lighting yaya elwaye njama light ya ma communities umotufuma yayo kwabula even public notice such that yoshimieni kwa ma stove punch ya swama light ya laya ilio stove ya pya munga ndanga mwaku ZESCO lyashiri ya kwa kale ya mateyo muntu wandi teti bakushitira na fridge kwa tibate compensate fridge yo baocha because of their negligence. Iminanisho tushita Muzambia ifintu fyali bipire ba PF bali tushire munsa patwe shakaba okay, nga washtaka kokopali 150 kwacha wala kasunga mu fridge wakulali yako akaritanta lero mairu akatibi bulya bushikulu sando, okay, eriyo nomba malaiti ya yero akakoko kabola. So bazesco balingire batumfwirako leke ntuchitoko enjoy in the new Don government. Thank you Muna.
So if you look at the implications of the role that electricity plays in terms of developing the lives of citizens and the GDP of the country, right? Electricity in a society is very important. Namayo kwete saloon ala bombashano kwa bulama light.
Yes.
Because I'm a light so it's very important for us to fix this problem. You know, you can always find other means of having alternative ways to provide solutions. We need to make sure that the Energy Regulation Board allows even private investors to sort of have this solution so that we solve this problem once and for all. 30 years problem. And this is where even people who are able, who've got the capacity, because Zambians never win 65 million, start investing in electricity solutions as well, because we really need to solve this problem of electricity. So to all the people who've got solutions, kuma diaspora and people who are able to provide solutions for this, it's time to shine, because ZESCO ideo now le chalo abantu tabaresta progress. So vamoton again turn upon padi agriculture, because chara maneka kwati we want handouts, and the importance of you know, doing things by ourselves, especially as a society. As a society, we need to make sure that we've got hands-on experience with regards to business and entrepreneurship, especially Kumavala, because Zambia has got a lot of land. So what is the importance of agriculture? And even vonse titwadima kubakia dicture ulebika korepu tomato nefinshi. So what do you think about the hands-on approach of Zambians and farming and agriculture?
Ala muntu wandi ichi echintu chimu icho nalefu asano kukomaila po nangu kulanda po, even during my time on my Facebook platform. If you remember very well, Mr. Muna, during mukatika buteko bwamwana wa chalo wakwetyo mutima wakubombera abantu mu bufuma chumi. May he so rest in peace. President Levi Patrick Mwanawasa. You know, Zambia tuchita depend sana pali kopa. But let's look at the other superpower, countries, superpowers where economy is concerned, like America. Kwali fulama farmers. Okay, kwali fulama farmers. When we talk of South Africa, there is also mining there, but also there is farming there. If we say if you're to Zambia, if you South Africa. Okay, if you say pwefe tuingalima na ifwe muno mwine mu Zambia mu myeso. Nomba mulandu wakwe bati you know isa byukubola litendekera kumutwe. Isa byukubola litendekera kumutwe. Abantu twale bika pamupando. Yama abantu abashayishibe no kukontama mwibala basekwile. There are people in the offices, the people that we ushered in, twali gonga mu Zambia, because twali bika abantu abakwe bati bali kwa balomfafe no bunangani bwa kuyifwenya. Umuntu kumfo bunangani bwa kuyifwenya. Meaning that bantu bamwabale umfwe chanyu kununka. You see, they can't just go. They had no interest in farming whatsoever. Because okay, if we are complaining of the dollar, why? Because we are not able as a nation to manufacture. If you to export, then let us venture into farming, because there are so many neighboring countries like Congo. There are so many neighboring countries like Congo where people suffer with food. Tabakwate fyakulia. So nga chakweba titwaliri mine government ya chitako subsidize fertilizer, batupelako fertilizer, bachitako revamp ama companies like nitrogen chemicals of Zambia, ole ipangira fi fertilizer fingi muno mu Zambia. Fertilizer kwingi ko tuinga ipangira twalikuwa tama plantation our nation Zambia has some shares in is it Nakambala sugar whatever southern province kula fumafi morasis kulia bale panga fertilizer twalikuwa tama white farmers, twalikuwa tama farmers abenja bale take nkoko. It is just the matter of the government who making sure, you know, Mr. Muna, we have a government, we had a government, not this government, we are yet to see. We had a government abakwete abo twitoko bati agriculture extension officers abalingiri okulafunda abantu ukulapanga otuma meeting mumishi, okay, ukufunda abantu pali organic conservation farming whereby kuti balebula kwa matotori yankoko balebula efyani bale bikemi follow bale shika mu efyani so that umushiri twawushita treat wino pakwa tuleti pera wino efyakuli abalumendo abengi you find that nga bamupera kaonda kada kaonda balaleka no kumpera fuel government balaleko kumushitira mataira ichala shala alafu nyesha mutumba mumyako. We had a very very poor and bad system of governance in the past. So we need this government, the new Dawn government, to revamp agriculture so much that ingachakwa turesta producer mataba yengi, not just a mataba, turerima kwe finanazi, turerima kwa ma grapes, turerima kwe nshi, turechita export. You discover that at the end of the day we have a lot of dollar in the country other than depending on copper. So we need this new Dawn government to make sure that nitrogen chemicals of Zambia is revamped, to make sure that the agriculture extension officer, Badako, Bapako, they are working on their toes so much that Zambia yaba revamped wino. Intungulu shisha kwata vision. Shira monoko bati okay ukunga chakwa takuri wino tukatafye tune in kuri beside. Then if intifyala babwino so dola tatwa kwate na ngwinchito Mr. Muna if atom Zambia agriculture twalibikire pamulu, most of our youths were just smoking weed. Chila nkankamika sana Mr. Muna oluchero mwaiche nako lwa lutuku na iwomfeshana mwitoloshi, you see na alala musewe finyerere fire ingira na mukanwa, just a youth. So if we have this government like the government that we have today, ngachakwe bati basenda agriculture at heart, twalasango ko bati ama youths balaba busy, abakote balaba busy, banamayo bashitata, everyone is going to be busy. Ero na baliabe nyabaye kala mu town balingiro bayishibo kwati iliyo tuledi ma tatwakula kwata sana sana kwati yo bamira batupere lyo bunga because twakula kwata efya kuli efingi ifya kwe bati fwe twakula ta sustain. As a result malasango kwati ngauledi ma if you bunga bwali umutengo 150 kwacha 160 kwacha pe 25 kilograms of maize of meal ngana ukwata utubata bamunganda wala senda fe twale kuchigayo ilempya wachirafu ayo kweba ati upose mukushita obunga wala shita mosopo wala twalira mu mwana ku school. So agriculture is very very important. Muzambia tulingire twakwata agriculture and not just agriculture Mr. Muna. Let me see, since this is an opportunity, I would encourage the president, you know, yonse turedi that dollar ile kwela dollar tamuri ichilele ngokwe that dollar ikwele, because if ingaleta dollar mucharo if tungata supply for us to exchange with the dollar we don't have. But we have human capital, we have human resource. Twalikwata ma teachers abengi, twalikwata ma nurses abengi, na ma doctors abengi. Why can't we export human resource to other countries where they are in need of doctors, where they are in need of teachers, where they are in need of nurses, where they are in need of machine operators, where they are in need of technocrats? So ngachakwachi twalikwete that policy government, the new Dawn government yalikwete that policy. Suppose but export ama teachers abali 200 ku Botswana. Okay, elo chila teacher nga afola per month and later contribute back home $200. How much dollar are we going to have in our treasury? The same implies nga chakwatu walichitire sana venture into agriculture. We export maize to Congo, to Liberia, to umumonsomo to inkondo. Okay, we are going to have a lot of dollar in our country. We shouldn't just depend on copper. Mudala echo amasata dena amasanda yale babize kufyupo. Abantu romba balire kokupa. Kairi mukolwete tyali lenga chako batalire tekwite.
Then moving on to another topic, right? We have some information with regards to fuel tankers that were abandoned, and they are currently in Ndola. And these fuel tankers that were bought under the previous government, right? They are worth 150 million US dollars. Sorry, 150 million kwacha. So nga mwakundola mwarafisange fima tankers. So ishishonse mpie shinga mwashita convert 150 million kwacha, right? That is equivalent to about 8.4 million US dollars. This is this is double the amount of money that Faith Musonda bakwetena yena. Number, if you look at 8.4 million US dollars, right? Because we can use that money to create employment. I want to talk about employment. So how much money was being wasted, and where did this money come from, and why is it that we can't really have any follow-up? So by DEC and by ACC, you need to look into these issues. How were these transactions made? Who imported them? Who was behind it? Who signed what? So these are simple cases that Zambians need to find out, and we need to have updates on such type of information, because there's absolutely no way 150 million kwacha mwaposa fefinto ninishikwadisa NMPA shale onaika vamoto mletira poshana
muntu wandi. That's why ndando kwewati in each country there are what we call any diffuse. You see why I say so? You know, some people abale munakwati badisambirira bale munakwati nshitata ya kafike where issues and all these deals will catch up with them. They thought that. No, but the question is, bamuna ayama tanka lyonsenga ndepita mundola ndayamona yali parking abali yabutuka. No, but question ili akwe, but if this was genuine money, genuine money that was budgeted for, yali budgeted for, by the Minister of Finance and approved by Parliament, why then abandoning such kind of investment? Where are the owners? Okay, ngabo bachitire in power. The question should be, ni bana ni abali pa white book? Ni bana ni abali ensha ya matanka? Baba kuisa. Ichiba mune chuturela ndapoko bati, this government should not condone nor tolerate corruption. Corruption should be like akasuba no infino ruguto tafienderana. Whosoever smells corruption must go in. Because ishwendala mesha onaika like your statistic, Mr. Muna, to our statistic. Nindala meshingi sana esho bali ngilio kufolesha bali abamukamfwirwa bali abakote amaritaris bali abale camping pa judiciary. Bali abantu nanomba tabala fola ba PF tabakweti oluse muntu wandiyo. PF guys were in PF, there were a lot of criminals. A lot of criminals. Such that tabale unfwa koluse icho bale fuaya kunonsha matumba yabo. This is the reason why we are we are inviting the president to make sure that the Zambian people, abantu abavotele, the people who employed the president in the Ichilema, okay, must be given, must be fed with the good and reports ayatuntulu, progressive reports on corruption. Whosoever touched a coin, whosoever pocketed the coin, must bring back that coin. Actually, ngai vile to bafire pava principle ile ya kwa Zakeo in the Bible. where he said weshikulunga nalifinsha omuntu natukwacha nkabwesha 6 kwacha kale balamba okwiba bapompwe mu nshibira nsala bamumankonso bakintala okwibira ekyalo. Okay, they must make sure that they bring back emulandu wine ayo amatanka ayo abene nga tabasangirwe muntu wandikushitisha n'okupeera endalama abantu, mu Zambia, Mr. Muna, aba abantu ba politician tukwata muri kino kyalo balekita beena nga balya bufe urukyero banwa tea palina amani palina omuchopo palina turaisi palina otwashala baleyibukishako okweba ati busho omwana wanshiwa fino nalya naye nalya nayikuta busho omwana wandinga aleya pa skulu na driver amutwala omwana ku skulu omwana wandi alesambira pe skulu ili tuntulu ileta producer abantu bwino ng'abaana bakwawulya na mayo ukumbo munkoyo pakuba kyatwali omwana ku university kirishani. If we are going to have such leaders in this country, we are going to experience a progressive Zambia.
So then futhi fimbo fonde fokulanda ngamwa lolekesha ishimpia na matankas that were abandoned, right? If you look at that 8.4 million US dollars, the question is how many pensioners could have received their benefits?
Yes.
People can raise their hands. How many of your grandparents, your grandmothers haven't been paid their dues due to the fact that pensioners, they are not able to get money? So what usually happens is now young people are sort of obligated to take care of pensioners because pensioners or young people to take care of pensioners, then they won't be able to progress because then by the end of it all cycle but nish not kwa tempia ishide onaika. So this is one of the reasons why if just because we're bitter or we're disgruntled, it's because these are the things that really keep on holding us back, especially on these certain small things. All of 40, think about the people who've got high positions in government, right? In the next 30, 40 years, they're going to retire. Broke. You want to leave a system which is going to benefit you in your later years as well, because you're going to be affected by this same culture. After 30 years, you are going to need this very system. How many times have we heard of prominent people abadi rich but now very broke? It's because of the same system and the same culture. So if you are living and propelling this culture of just doing anything, you are also going to be affected. Right? Sometimes that could lock down, you're not able to fly out of the country. Your children are also going to be affected as well. So we should take these things personally and not to go after just because they're not got the opportunity and you've got the privilege of in the future you're also going to be affected as well. So let's also have a long-term mentality and always consider others as well. Before we invite some more people, because at this particular moment we can invite some of our guests to be part of our live stream because we want to hear your opinion. So unless man,
if we fear kuranda thing, but let us accommodate also some people to participate. We'll table some issues tomorrow.
Okay, so right now we are giving you this opportunity to be part of the conversation and join us so that the people can hear your opinions as well. So the link is going to be in the comment section. I'm actually adding it right now. And please, when you join us, be brief and be straight to the point. Get straight to the point. About 1 minute, 1 minute 30 seconds maximum, because we need to have as many people to join us. So feel free to be part of this live stream. Use the link in the comment section below, and then you're going to be able to add your 2 cents as well. So while we're waiting for people, mune munaposhani pali va PF va PF vafuire valombo bwerero kuchalo tefyo.
muntu wani vapiwa vafuire varombo bwero kuri nature.
Mkwaye.
Yes, vafuire varombo bwero kuri nature, because the sins that these guys committed, they committed sins against nature, and it is nature that judged them.
Mkwaye.
So balingire balombo bwero kwena ero naye amano balekitaya kwe bati fwe banabwe fironda tafira apola ero bambye okulati we bati u bounce back ni kwisoko bamwene unipi ya bwera mu power. Stop the dreaming. What the guys in the PF should do now is to sit down and make peace with the people of Zambia, okay, and move on. And accept they are in opposition, just like MMD accepted to be in opposition. So they should also accept to be in opposition, just like UPND was in opposition. Tefyonse fintu fisa mukwikalirira yo muntu akwalesa apo nechimu chichiroma na perera apo pe
apa Viora Mayova. Mrs. Obviously, I'm assuming Vera Mayova has joined us. Welcome to the program. And what are your contributions?
Thank you. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good evening, Mona. And I don't know the other person's name, but I like your program, and it's very informative and educative. So I am going to speak Nyanja.
No problem.
Yes. Apo namvera mwakamba vambili vamene kupanga sense. Actually, I don't know if my location is showing there. I don't know.
No, we can see you very clearly.
But do you know? Can my location is my location showing?
No, just your name.
Okay, yeah, I'm calling from Everett, Washington, in the USA.
Okay.
Yes. I've got grandchildren. My children are here, and they went to school here, all of them. But my grandchildren and my daughter are still there in Zambia.
Right.
And I went to school in the Kaunda era, when there was the only schools that were available at that time were government schools.
Right.
English in 3rd grade. Today, I've got my nephews. They are all of them are very educated. Very good English. But when you look at their written English, they speak fluent English, but their written English is very poor. And these are children who went to private schools. People paying a lot of money for these kids to get educated. But what is the problem? Why can't they learn to write in those private schools? Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much for that contribution. Unless there's some more stuff you would love to clarify. So we'll get back to you, Mrs. Vara Mayova. Let me allow Moses to give us his 2 kwacha as well.
Okay.
Moses, good evening. How are you?
Evening, Amuna Shan.
Laka. What's your contribution tonight?
I think my brother there has talked a lot. I know he has tackled on some important issues, such as ZESCO, DEC ACC, na kuri agriculture. So I can only add like pali wa DEC na ACC. Our bantu, they are professional and they have been working there. Previous government, nama government, if ayariko kunuma sana, including the PF, which has just been kicked out by the UPND. They can't take too long for the cases such as corruption. I think I'm emphasizing them to speed up on their work so that Zambian that yes, we have got law enforcers wherever whoever is found in a corruption scheme can face the law wangu nga fyatitika fyaralenga country icharo chesu cha Zambia to be secured so that nabarevomba bonse mu government they are going to have at least respect because barebombere charo cha Zambia n'abana bareisa abakwe bati na bene nga bakora they will still benefit and we can be proud to boast just like America they do boast effort filoko then ZESCO na bena I saw a message umwarera that you are just talking about ZESCO road shading whatever nikuisoko queen. I was the one yesterday who said here in Sorwezi Northwestern Sorwezi Central Maraiti Yari, as I was reporting yesterday, it was 3 days. Today is 4th day. The power went almost 40 minutes, around 15 hours exactly. That's when the power went. But when coming back, I didn't check out only my time so that I recorded the time. So we want to find out from the ZESCO body management what is going on. Because last time, yesterday, I called when the power went to ask, road shading yako irina iwera. They said no, takuri. Number, if you tika nifinshi kanshi, pakwewa tidionse, amaraiti yare. As a resident and a concerned Zambian, if you ishi, befire tika mcharo. Not valid sender for granted now. This is our country, and I said we have only one Zambia, one nation. There is no other Zambia where we can go or learn to. It's up to you, Mr. Muna, I, and every panelist here to support and do the right thing for this country. Tuira kwata if ya kumitima sana awe. We need to work as brothers and sisters. Brothers, keepers, I can say. Mukuchitefi, we will build up this Zambia to be a great country. Mcharo chesumu. Then in terms of agriculture, yes, as my brother elaborated earlier, it is good that even the government and the other sector, although this called the investors, not only come here to invest in mines, mukura na finshawe, they should also invest more in agriculture so that Zambia charo cheso ngati kutireta produce ifintu ifingi ya paralysis, maize, cassava, na fimbifi. Filefuma muno mcharo chesu, tuletwala kona ifutuleta ku export. Na mwena makura fuma income ya kwebati, our country is going to benefit. Not tuleta filirai mukopa, kopenga yapo nani fionse fya rubana muno. Kopenga ya nina kona pena inina kofi panono. But ngachako bati kupona mwala monama maini bonso kuirisha nya tufumya abantu inchito tutiteshani mucharo chesu mwa jobless tachifire chireba fyao. Let us think outside the box. I'm emphasizing the new government and nabonse I'm also a government, the one who is speaking, so that's why I'm speaking, so that those who are in power now spearheading us to read us can hear and put these things as the most important on the table. They share, they see what we can do. But then the other thing in mining take over vale senda fye kopa yesu nga bayimba vale chefirindi then vale amkuta extract ku South Africa concentrate or whatever outside Zambia. No, we need like here in Northwestern, out of 5 biggest mine in Zambia, 3 are here. We need this government to set up at least a smelter kuno opaka tapalipons so that it smelter can also be generating income ingarashara muri kino ekyaro like zamefa firia yaba na fimbi efo bafuira okupanga even this yama transformer and other things if concerning electric whatever if you want yakopa kuti bapanga mo lero nomba bale trade export nga trade tefi our country is going to gain more resources, more money, and we can even boast. But if we rely only nga kuimba kopa baimba kuimba zinki manganizi baresenda, if we to pera feel like a low material type, then in Daramashes chakra chepa. And when selling this, we should be selling in exchange with the dollars. At least country yes kwatako ama dollar ma account munomu inemo. I think I can head there and listen to my fellows.
So let me get back to Mrs. Mayovo. Let's talk about the importance of having, a culture of people being ethical. You said you stay in Washington, D.C., right? And you're based in America right now. So how can we cultivate a culture that really promotes accountability and transparency? How is the system there in America? Because we understand corruption is everywhere, but at least we can do something to at least minimize it or make sure that we do our best to get rid of it. So what's your advice with regards to all these corruption cases and everything? Hello? Mrs. Mayova? Mrs. Mayova? I think she can't hear me. Okay, at this particular moment, let's move over to Matthew. How are you, sir? Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Very good. Welcome to the program. What's your contribution? Just make it brief and straight to the point.
Basically, you're talking about agriculture. I remember when we were young, we used to have gardens at our backyard. Almost every house used to have. But nowadays, when I come to Zambia, I don't even see most of those. So it's literally. I think we need to remember the Kaunda era, back to the land. That system should be back in Zambia, especially the young ones now that are coming up. I think we need to emphasize on that. It's very, very important. Like my co-host who was speaking previously, I mean, copper, yes, we have copper enough, but surely there should be more, value added within Zambia. That's one of the most important things we should enforce on. So basically, I think agriculture is a potential which can make Zambia literally be, self-sufficient in most of the foods and not importing any of these things that are causing even diseases which we've never heard of, because you're buying food from somebody who's putting in chemicals that we don't even know. So it's time we enforced on Zambian produced food, and people should eat that. I think that's very much important to me.
Thank you very much. So, Mrs. Mayovo, can you hear me?
She muted.
Okay, but I can see her mic is on. I don't know whether she can hear me. I think she's not able to hear us. Okay, so at this particular moment, if anybody has got any further contributions, the floor is open, and we're here waiting for you.
Hello.
Yes, Moses, you can go on.
Yes. Just talking about Mrs. Miovo, whatever the name.
Mayovo.
Mayovo, yes. She was speaking about education, not so.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Even me, I concur with her. Education of nowadays, yes. Young people, they are influential in speaking English, yes. But written becomes a little bit difficult. What she has said is just right. Now, I don't know what plan or what measures this government can, including all the teachers, all the parents in this country, can come up with, so that at least even in written, better we become good, or this coming generation, they become good in writing. It is true.
Right,
Mhm.
right, right.
Yeah, I can add on that because I'm a teacher right here in UK, and I mean the system basically it's also like a two-tier system where you have the the grammar schools and you have the comprehensive schools. So even here you find that there are two types of students. Some are more vested in more writing, and the others are just like same like in Zambia. Probably you're having that problem. I think what we need in Zambia is to change the curriculum, probably, because I think the curriculum doesn't give us anything better. Just like 12 years you spend and you come out, you've just known the theoretical part of education, which is not important to you. Then you start going to college to learn a skill. To me, I think a skill should start from when we used to be young. I remember when I was young, I'm going out with my elders to either we go hunting or we go to the farm to do the skills which were just naturally acquired. But nowadays, kids are coming out, they don't even have those skills. So we need to get practical means into education. The theory is too much. The history, all these things that they are learning, they waste all the time, 12 years of their time, and come out now. You can't even go to a company to say, okay, I've got at least this is a practical skill I can exhibit. These are things which we need to do, like start the skills training from very young age. This is very important. And I'm thinking maybe teachers, adult teachers, and all the other guys should come up with a new curriculum where we can start teaching children from young age, learning what is the applicable. Like applied science, applied maths. We need to apply this to the practical situation of our lifestyle, and what will give us our career will be far much, will be able to choose a career as a student when you finish your form 5 or grade 12, by the way. So you should know how old I am. I finished in form 5 when I was in Zambia. So basically we need to do that. I think that's one thing I'm gonna put. I'm gonna write up a curriculum myself because I teach skills in college, and I'm teaching kids who've come from high school. They haven't had any, grades. They failed their English and maths. So I've got to start teaching them the skills and give from foundation of engineering and all that. It's very difficult to teach a child who has no concept of what really is mechanical engineering, what really is electrical engineering. So these are the things we need to teach to start very early stage in Zambia. And I hope, I heard one of the teachers or maybe one of the educationers was suggesting a new curriculum, and I hope you'll be working on that stage so we can start on it. And I'm willing to come and to bring up my suggestion and come when next time I come into Zambia.
Definitely, that's a very great idea, and this also is a very good testament to the lack of hands-on approach with regards to the problems that we face in Africa. Most of the
Yeah,
times, right, you might find that at the University of Zambia, where there are a lot of graduates, there's a lot of engineers there, right? You
yeah,
see foreigners working on basic things like building the bridge and doing
it's
different things. So this is one of the
exactly,
reasons why we should have a hands-on approach where the citizens
exactly.
are playing key roles to foster development, because
That's
we're all about theory. Because I remember in grade 12, when I was in grade 12
yeah,
back in 2008, right, when
mm,
doing biology experiments, we rarely went to the labs. We never
that's
did
it.
such experiments. We just knew things theoretically without
Yeah,
actually doing it. And this is the
mm,
difference between Africa and developed nations, because they actually learn by doing things.
the same.
So this is one of the reasons why the government needs to start giving opportunities and allowing people to fail and actually do things. So we really
Exactly.
need to start from, from childhood as early as possible, where, for example, teach different people skills. And one of the things that I would love to advocate for is the reintroduction of national service. Because if you look at the
All
current
that.
generation, yeah, in comparison to the previous generation, right? At least like even the men from back then compared to the men right now, totally
Yeah.
different set of skills, because the hands-on approach and life skills could be,
You are right. I concur with you about the national service, because they can just do a reduction of the year, maybe 1 year instead of the 2 year. They can do, half a year, 6 months military, 6 months doing skills and all that, at least to give them a skill. But if they start from high school or even primary level, when they come up to graduate, they'll be able to do those things. They'll be able to choose a career in which they have the, it's their hobbies which you can develop into a career. So once
right?
you have a hobby which you like if they're doing carpentry and joinery, you think, oh yeah, I better be a joiner. If you're doing mechanical things, you like that, you can be even a mechanical engineer, or even into mechanics and all this. So it is literally very, very important, and the DNS is the key to giving confidence to the students.
Yes.
Students, once they go through the ZNS, you have that built-in confidence, which you feel like you can do anything. You see what I mean? Because you've been
Right.
like military is a boldness which you get, the skill of boldness and be able, courage to be able to face anything in your life. That's very, very important. I think we should recommend that.
Definitely. And this is one of the reasons why in the past, Zambian youths and the younger generation, they have the notion that if you really want to become wealthy and rich in Zambia, you have to bootlick, you have to be a cadre, and you have to be
That's it.
politically affiliated. This is one of the reasons why during the PF era, we saw notorious entities such as Innocent Kalimanshi. And I keep on saying this, the number of people that Innocent Kalimanshi, with his lifestyle, was able to influence, right? Those were a lot of people, a lot of youths who knew that if I
Yes.
want to become as famous and as powerful as him, I have to be unruly, I have to be a thug. So if you look at these basic small things, they really promote the degeneration of our society and our culture as well. So all these nitty gritty details, they really propel us to either develop or not. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so thankful to this new government, because we've got new ministries, like, for example, the small medium enterprise ministry and
Yeah.
the ministry of technology and all that stuff. Because in the previous
That's,
government, right, we had the ministry of religious affairs that wasn't doing anything.
oh,
We were
that's a
just
waste of
wasting
time.
money.
Yeah.
When bad things were happening in society, the ministry of religious affairs weren't doing anything. So
No.
at least we need to have progressive developments in the country, and we need to make sure that the setup is really in fostering development and a culture shift, because everything is in the mind. So if we are able to have ways where we can propel our mindset and our mentality to change, is really going to go a long way. And what type of things can the government do, right, to promote the mindset of having a hands-on type of mentality on innovation? What things on and how can the citizens of Zambia be motivated by the government subconsciously or consciously? How is it done in England?
In England right now, I'm a teacher of mechanical engineering and design and technology in high school. So what are they doing exactly? In fact, there's a shortage of skills for the young, because the young people coming from high school also, they just think about, technology, mobile, basically. It's like, so what they're doing is, everybody who's failed, they haven't managed to go to college or university, they'll have to come, or for A levels, they'll have to go to college and write again their A levels. I mean, their GCSEs, English and maths. Those are mandatory. The must pass those. So when they come to college, they've got to sit the maths and English. and then they have to acquire at least that grade C. And then the skills are taught within that period. Once they are learning the skill, they choose a career which they want. If they want to do mechanical engineering or automotive engineering, they'll be doing those in conjunction with the maths and English. So what it is they just getting everybody into a skill to make sure that they get into the skills. Everybody gets a skill at least. So there's a much shortage, there's much shortage because kids wants to just chill out and have fun and not get into hands-on experience. They want to just go to media, like if they're going to college, they want to do media, they want to do acting and drama, things like that. Those are the things they really look on. But when they realize that they can't all be actors, they can't all be celebrities. So they end up looking for a career when it's too late. But, they've got to go back to educate, to do their GCSE English and maths. So that becomes quite a problem with them. So, but they're getting there. They're getting in there. They're forcing them because they are giving them incentives. You can't get any benefits without going to do your GCSEs and maths. So they've got to do it. So they are forced to do it until they get to the age of 19. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And talking about incentives, right? Especially one of the key fundamental roles that governance plays, we can provide incentives for people to go into entrepreneurship. Let's say, for example, lower taxes if you've got 100 employees, or if you've got a certain, production or cash flow that is being supplemented by your business. We can also have situations where, for example, at Parkra, if you're just graduating from university, you don't need to pay any fees, any tax for about a number of years. So having these different incentives are going to subconsciously force the people to, become innovative.
You're right, because that's what they do here. Here you have a grace period of 2 years. 2 years, you don't pay no tax and you literally the month you don't even get to get any letter for you to say, oh, you pay your tax until after 2 years. That's when they send you the first. We want you to fill in your financial statements and all that. That's when you do that. But that is an incentive, because in 2 years you'll be able to develop your business. But also it's a mindset. The Zambian business, people think it's just today you start, tomorrow you're going to make money. But business takes long. You got to wait until, you got to develop. You got to market it. You got to find customers and all that. It's not a quick fix business. So that's a problem. That's why the mindset, we need to have a mindset, the change of mind, in Zambian people, that business, when you start, you got to give it time to mature. Because you can't plant a maize today, tomorrow it's coming up and you are harvesting. No, you've got to make sure we get to develop the business, do your marketing. I'll give you an example. My son is back in Zambia now, and I think he spent about almost 60,000, trying to to help the youth to develop the business. There's a number of people who've come to see him and they've asked him, oh, I've got this business and I'm doing. He gives them the finances. He gives, few days later they disappear on the ladder and they don't come and see him. They're ashamed. So all these things he's going through. He's saying, I'm testing the mind of the Zambians. So I think he's learned a lot, and he says, I realize that Zambians just want to get the quick fix of money. Once they have money, they want to spend it for something else, not the business they intended to do. So that's a problem he's having at the moment.
Definitely. So anyway, let's move over to Mrs. Mayoba. Sorry for cutting you off, sir. Matthew,
no,
sorry
that's
for
fine.
doing that.
Finished.
All right. So, Mrs. Mayova, what is your contribution? How can the diaspora play a key role with regards to in fostering innovation and just basically getting to add value to the society? And also talk about your earlier remarks about the differences between America and Zambia with regards to how things are done. I don't know. Can you hear us? Hello? Mrs. Mayovo?
Yes, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Hello, can you hear me? Yes, can you hear
Yes,
me?
we can.
Okay,
Yes, we can.
So like the other man was saying, because I wasn't even here him introduce himself, so I don't know his name. The one I think he's based in Europe or something like that. But yeah, I've got two sons, 18 and 15. And so you know my thing about education, because we go to Zambia with my and the age in the same age. Look, when you look at them in talking, even just speaking amongst themselves, you can see the difference already before they even do anything. Zambian children are not mature enough. When you put my American-born children there, they are far much advanced, and I get so irritated when I look at what is happening in my country, because Zambia is my home. I want our
That's
children
true.
to think on, on a national level where our children are to compete. I want our children there in Zambia to be able to compete. And I think the education system in Zambia must change.
Yes.
Children in 3rd grade, they are mature enough to start learning the computer. Put them on the computer.
Yeah.
Start teaching them skills. Don't just teach them to speak English because it won't get. It's the skills that matter. If you give my 15 year here, my 26-year-old website, I want to sell my products online. Today, I'm speaking here, I'm at work. He's making, creating a website from scratch. Those are things in Zambia. We are failing our children in Zambia because we don't have the capacity to think about what matters in life today. We are still far much behind. And that needs to change. It must change. We've got teachers in Zambia. One problem I have seen is we've got a lot of people with bogus degrees. A person with bogus degrees has nothing to offer a student. We need to make sure that these teachers are, I think they must be, I don't know, maybe they must be looked at, or maybe they must be, they must retake their courses. Whoever fails to pass on at a certain percentage must not be in a classroom because they are wasting our children's lives. This is life you're talking about. If you can't compete at home, you can't compete here on an international level. We want our children to go to school and learn skills that can be applied to life. We don't want our children to be wasting time. School in Zambia is not interesting. Here, my boys cry. When we were in the pandemic, a total shutdown, our children were learning from home on the computers. They were doing just fine. In Zambia, children were sent home to go and stay home to do nothing. What kind of government is that?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, which was the worst. Yeah, that's true.
So that all boils down to corruption and the wastage of funds. All these funds that are being wasted on, corruption and all these things that have been happening. We can utilize that money to improve our economy. And a lot of Zambians are very hardworking. A lot of Zambians want these opportunities, but the government is neglecting them, and they don't really have access to even facilities that can help them learn about a computer. Because your kids in America, they are exposed to these technological privileges, but people in Zambia, they don't have access to it. So it all boils down to strictness and ending corruption.
I think that is true.
But I think also when we corruption, you have to understand that the Zambian public treats corruption as if if you're in this office supposed to be bribed to do your job. No. Here in America, for instance, if a police officer stops you, they come, it's running. How are you going to bribe that person? You go to jail and save time in prison for trying to bribe a police officer. So this culture of corruption in Zambia, we, the public, are party to brave,
Yeah.
because we treat these things as if it's normal. It's not normal for a police officer to receive a bribe from somebody who committed the crime, because before there's the bribe, there's somebody behind there who committed the crime and they wanted to get away with that crime. Let's not treat corruption as if it's normal. It isn't normal. A police officer who's receiving bribes to let these wrongdoers go free must also be must understand that it's crime committing. They have to save time. So that when you arrest one police officer, put them in jail and let them go to prison, and time is the other one then, and they would start. They'll be able to even ask for a bribe in public, because in Zambia it's common ground. You go there, you commit a crime, the police officer comes. Oh, brother, here, and it ends there. So what does that say about us, the Zambians? What does that say?
And I hope now that I think the police have no roadblocks and all that. They might learn the lesson. But again, I just want to add on education. Here, 4-year-olds start their grade 1. So they're having, they start from 2 years.
Yes.
They are already in the nursery. Some are even from birth, when they're just young, they go to nursery, and so they're learning something. They're doing skills which are from what they're playing with, toys and all that. But I'm amazed that in Zambia we're still taking grade 1s at 7-year-olds, which is, to me, that's too old for a child. 7, 8 years old, that's too old for a child to start grade 1 and studying 1 + 1. When the child has already been, the maturity is already at 5 years, they must be able to, to be able to understand the concept of 1 + 1, all those things. So it's very, very important that I think all this needs to be changed, and try and put in the incentives of checking on teachers, because here in the semester you have to be checked, to be your mentor will have to sit there and watch you teach, how you're teaching, so that we can see that the kids are learning proper things. You can't just leave a teacher is just in class all year round without even checking him to see how good is this teacher, how is he teaching the children. So there should be regular inspection of teachers, to see if they are using the teaching skills which have been taught to them. Because it's not just by writing down on the board and getting all this. You need to have, to see that they are teaching materials that is, getting the students to have an understanding of the basic principles of any subject that they are teaching. Or else it's just a waste of time. Tomorrow the teacher says, copy these notes, copy these notes. Tomorrow, copy these notes. You can't just teach by just students copying notes. You've got to learn the principles of, the subject foundations.
Definitely. And just to clarify on that point, right? The people on the panel are not saying, Zambians are lazy and our education system is so terrible. But the thing is, what we're just trying to say is we're trying to advocate for a better way of improving and getting to capitalize and maximize the younger generation's potential to learn and do better. Of course, there are a lot of Zambians who are very smart and they are very capable. But due to the fact that they've got limited resources, that's all they have. They can't really, become super geniuses and know things about computers and be exposed to these things if they are not really facilitated and exposed to those facilities. So this is one of the reasons why we need to expose them to those types of, privileges and make sure they've got the resources to be able to compete as well. So based on the current situation and how things are done in Zambia, they're probably doing the best of whatever they can with the limited resources that we have. So this is one of the reasons why we need to have tech hubs, different facilities, to make sure that we promote this culture of really maximizing the potential of especially the coming ones, because we need to make sure that the younger ones who are coming are getting the proper needed services that they can, so that when they grow up they'll be able to compete in the world. So, Moses, We haven't heard from you
Hello?
in a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm listening. The addition on that one, which I can say is, first thing, as Zambian, we need to be jealous with our country. Jealous, I mean, we should protect our country. When I'm employed as a teacher, I should have the art, the love for my country.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I have a love, it means whatever I'm going to do will be based on merit for the goodwill of the Zambian people. That is the first thing which these other countries, developed countries, do.
Mm-hmm.
But here in Zambia, second which kills us is corruption. When I was looking for a job, maybe I was employed through corruption strategy or whatever. So it means that it will be killing me in my head or consuming me daily basis, so that even my fellows or my family member or whoever is looking for the job, because I know which I used for me to get the job, that will be the channel, not using a right channel for me to get a job. It also makes us not to do the right thing. That's why even teachers sometimes kumasukuruku, they go there children, like just from what the big man there has from saying, the children are in the class, a teacher comes, he just say copy these notes. Maybe out of 4 subjects or whatever, because there are periods there, then they learn only 1 subject per day, writing only the notes. How are those children going to improve or to learn, to acquire knowledge? It means nothing. So we are killing ourselves because we don't have that love. Love is the key for this country, Zambia, to liberate from or whatever we are going through in terms of education.
Yeah.
In another way of maybe computer and other things, yes, this country, Zambia, we cannot compare it with some where my brother and Viola Mayowa, they are living now. It's far away. But we should try by all means. And I'm emphasizing also to you, my fellow Zambians abroad, what is your role when you are abroad? What role do you play? Because I can give example like these footballers, like Mane, Liverpool, DJ Drogba, what they have done in their countries, and Samuel Eto'o. They were playing football there, but they have done something great, which inspires me as a Zambian living here. That's what you should also be doing. That is good. When you go diaspora somewhere there, think about where you are, or where you are coming from, or your home.
You think about that.
Yes, you do something. Yes, you do something with one day. On that point, I mean, even maybe some of the amount, including politicians here in Zambia and all Zambia, we have a fear, and I sense this and I can speak about it. Most of politicians here or big businessmen, they don't put their money in our country, Zambia. They go and bank somewhere else. This is also contributing to developing this country, Zambia. Because if the government is going to change and bring some good policy to protect an individual having maybe enough capacity of money, just example given like it was for HH, who is now the president, and GBM, I remember one day when he joined UPND, he was blocked, his contract and some tracks, whatever. HH had helped that man to go and do business in South Africa, if I may recall very well. He did that. His battery company in Mansa was damaged completely. I've just forgotten the name of one police. who was there by then. So these things also bring fear to most of Zambians here who are capable and able, having a lot of maybe money and power to help develop this Zambia. We need also to look on that so that at least come in future, things will be okay. This is our country. There is no way we can be banking somewhere else instead of in our country. Those dollars, whatever dollar you get, whatever dollar I might earn somewhere, I should go and bank to Zanaco or any bank in Zambia so that that money will make maybe taxes or whatever to be returned into Zambia for other development. That can be help.
Yeah, I can just add on that one. You know, the problem was, I mean, the previous government, there was no way you could come in and do investment because it was, you would be just throwing money to corruption probably and all that. And the cadres, they were in charge of the whole, you come in, you just feel people are so fearful of doing any business. And so you imagine how long these guys have been in power and they haven't given us the opportunity to even come and invest. Now I feel confident to come and invest in Zambia, literally, you know, and I'm planning to say, I need to go to Zambia. This is an open door for us in the diaspora to come and help in a way. In fact, my main aim is to come in now and get the youth mindset change and let them begin from the scratch, start to do business which will stand, you know, the time and, you know, the test of time, and be able to produce things. By the time HH is coming off the presidency, they should be established. The country should be established in agriculture, you know, mining, all these, you know, the cooperatives they're forming. These are better things which you can, you know, continue making these. The youth should make these and start to make money, not for selfish, for sharing, to share and be able to pay tax, and the government can have money in their coffer. So it's basically one of the things, and I've sent, like I told you, my son is already there. He's already been chosen as one of the chair to this. I mean, because when you have money, he's the chair. I mean, I think there's a friend of his went to Lundazi, and Lundazi, they formed the cooperative. But then he told him that, oh, my son can be the chairman. He's not even there yet.
Exactly.
So those are the things we come into. I mean, I'm hoping this government will help us and be able to come in and invest.
Exactly. And this is why it's very important to have a government that really emphasizes the rule of law, because we can get to utilize Zambians in the diaspora and people within Zambia, because in Zambia there's a lot of wealthy people. But what was happening during the previous regime is they were being sidelined by well-connected people. You know, so this is one of the reasons why even I'm a fuel tankers, the people who were supposed to benefit from those fuel tankers were connected PF cadres, you know, and they didn't even have the capability of maintaining and running them. So this is one of the reasons why at this particular moment, now that we are in this particular problem, we need to find solutions from within ourselves. The government needs to have incentives for people who are in the diaspora like you to come back to Zambia and invest and teach people new skills. Also, not neglecting even the people in Zambia, because the people in Zambia can really contribute a lot. I know there's a lot of powerful and smart people in Zambia, but they do not just have, you know, the capabilities, because most of them are not connected. Most of them don't know the right people or something. So we need to have a meritocracy type of leadership where people with merit are given jobs and they're also given opportunities based on their experience and results, because we can only help ourselves if we do take this hands-on approach and get to utilize everybody, Zambians in Zambia, the diaspora as well, and just, you know, improving the nation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, that's, I mean, definitely there's a lot of desire from the diaspora right now for the people to come home and do in fact, the president, when he was addressing the Americans, we managed to listen to the, you know, to the press conference he had with them. He was saying the diaspora, you're now open, because we never had a chance. If the diaspora, Lungu has never even been to UK for us to come and see us. He went to America once just because to the UN, but he never came in to just come and visit, to come. I don't think he even saw the Queen. He's never visited the Queen. I don't think so. So can you imagine that? And when we come to Zambia, it was like, even the when you come even to renew your passport, it was like you've got to the delaying you just because they want you to pay something. You just feel like this is a waste of time. Something which is supposed to be done within an hour is taking, it says 2 days, 3 days.
Because of the culture of Uwomba Mwivala Adia Mwivala.
Which is very bad.
And then the other thing is the reason why Zambians in Zambia can really get to utilize the diaspora is because Zambians in Zambia know the system, they know the environment. They know which loopholes to take advantage of. So so long you were born in Zambia, be patriotic and do what is right. Because when everybody wins, the whole society is going to, have equal opportunities, and it wouldn't be easy to do business because everybody's living very well. So we just need to work together, make sure we've got a culture of transparency and accountability as well.
That's it. No, that's true. That's true. And I like you. You are doing a very good work for the youth, because definitely the youth need to be, given a voice, and you are giving that voice, for the youth, because this is where an opportunity can come. Because I'm thinking, if I come to Zambia, who can I really, how can I get hold of the youth who are really genuine and not just wanting to get money from me and then run away from one, because right now, there was one guy conned my son by lying that he's going to sell soya. He wants to take soya to Malawi, and my son being easy was just saying, okay, let me help him. He gave him the money for transport and for fuel, all that. And after some weeks, the guy says, oh no, I need some more money. I'm stuck. The police needs some bribing and all that, getting around.
We also need a very good filtering system, because I've done VC, venture funding, and crowdfunding, right? So what we usually do is, in order for us to filter people with regards to who are going to be able to fund and basically support, right? We look at people who've done something, people who've got the experience, because in order for you to succeed, right, you need the learning curve. You need to go through this phase of failing and all that stuff. So this is one of the reasons why, if you look at the PF, Youth Empowerment Fund, right, they were just doing it. I can guarantee you 75% of that money is not going to be paid. So what we need to do is we need to rally behind Zambian youths who are already doing something, and we promote them so that they can get to expand it. Because if we start giving money to people who just have an idea, they've written down a proposal, businesses take time for them to mature and do very well. This is one of the reasons why I'm sure those of you who are privileged enough to be in the diaspora, when you send money and all that stuff, you find that money is being lost, the business isn't doing very well, because starting a business isn't a guarantee. But if we can pinpoint people saying, I've already registered my company, I've already done this, I've got 5 years experience, all that they need is to propel them to the next level. We empower these people so that they can expand and employ more people and grow their economy as well. Like that, if we go using that approach, we're going to be able to make progress, instead of just dishing money to somebody who has never even done a business. They've never even experienced failure,
That's
so
true.
I think in addition, we also need to teach. We teach those people to acquire knowledge and wisdom to do the business before we give money. That teach how to fish, not just how to get a fish. Or how to hit. That's good. The other point which I want to talk about is about this thing which I do here, can such mine maybe has been given 5 years free tax or Rumwana, whatever. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
What of us Zambian, especially SME, small scale entrepreneur, something like that? Can't government have at least a certain policy which is rightly to be a simple thing for small scale Zambia if they want to do a business in terms of maybe a tax, as somebody elaborated earlier? I heard it.
Yes. Tax breaks.
Yeah.
Tax break, yeah.
I think it can be good.
That would be very good incentives, because definitely I don't even understand how can you say an investor come in and then I'll give you 5 years with free tax free. That's not good for the government. Basically, an investor should be able to pay, to have the money to pay tax. You should be prepared. An investor should be prepared from start to finish of his business. If he doesn't have the money, let him, he's not an investor. He's a thief. Definitely.
And maybe just 1 track or 2 track of copper. He has a profit more than whatever. But you who is doing a small business, maybe a range of 20 penny, 10,000, something like that. ZRI and some other institution, council, whatever, following you up. Those are blocking as Zambia not to prosper.
Imagine. I my niece is running a business. She tells me that they tax her on the capital. I said, how can they tax you on capital? You know, capital is not supposed to be taxed. Why are you taxing me on capital when that's my investment? It tax me on profit. So I was saying this needs to be, I mean, HH is a businessman, and I hope he's going to look into this. If this is what they're doing for the locals, I mean, then they're giving tax-free to the companies. This is not fair. That's why Zambians are not prospering.
Exactly.
You can't tax them on capital, and you're just depleting their capital. And so I think it's very, very important to talking about. It's something that we need to look into. Incentives. Give us the incentives. As the SME should be given incentives. 5 years tax-free will be, it's even more than what a business should be. 2 years is good enough to get them in. You know?
Exactly. So instead of concentrating on such progressive talks, right? We're here talking about faith. We're here talking about the tankers. We're here talking about irrelevant things. But the thing is, we need to have these conversations in order for us to get to the innovation part. So first of all, you have to understand that development is a cycle. You just can't go on innovation when there's rampant corruption and there's a lot of problems. How can you be innovative? Even if you're innovative, they're going to steal your businesses. The cartel is going to, take down your business, and entrepreneurship is going to die. So this is one of the reasons why, as youths, as citizens, we need to make sure that the things are done that are supposed to be done at the beginning of this development and evolution process. So becoming a first world country is, or rather needs to start from a basic point, a starting point, getting rid of, minimizing corruption, getting rid of certain vices, and then we're going to flow together like that in the process of evolving our economy and just making ourselves improve.
I also get clarity on you who is coming from diaspora. What charges do they charge? Maybe you just keep the money in the bank without maybe using it, or you get paid, you keep the money, a saving account, something like that. What charge do they charge? So that maybe we should also learn something here, because here in Zambia also I see this to be a threat to most businessmen. That's why, like these Indians and others, they don't even put a lot of money there in the bank, but they keep it aside. They pretend to put something just in relation to see that, okay, this is what they are doing, or the business they are doing here in Zambia. We need to look on that.
Yeah, basically, what is here, when you put a savings, it means you're gonna gain interest. You see, so they're gonna give you interest on your savings. And
Yeah,
even the current accounts nowadays, some of them are free. You don't even pay for their current account. So
yeah,
these
that's
are the
what I'm
things.
looking for,
I
like
I
that.
remember
Mm.
I remember having my bank account in Zambia, and there was a lot
Yeah.
of money in it. By the time I came back in about 6 months or so, the whole money
Mm.
was gone. I said, "Where's my
Yeah.
money?" He says, "No, because we were charging you fees for keeping your money." I said, "This is a savings account." I thought, so I was so close. I just had to shut it down. So this is definitely one of the things the government should look into, because people are not putting money in the bank. There's no
Yeah.
way you can put money in the bank and be charged interest, for storage and all those things. That's why people are keeping money in the house, and then there's no money in the circulation because of people are not are holding on to their money. There's nowhere the bank is the one supposed to be letting the money circulate properly, but they're not. They're charging so much exorbitant charges, which are causing people to keep money away from the bank.
Definitely.
Mhm.
So let's give Mrs. Mayova an opportunity to, talk as well. If she can hear us, then we
Is
just
she
wrap it up,
there?
because, then we just wrap it up and conclude, because we've already been running for a very long period of time. So, Mrs. Mayovo, are you there? Let me add her. Are you there, Mrs. Mayovo? I don't think she can hear
No,
us.
I don't think she's there. Network is.
Oh,
That's,
okay, yeah, she's having network. So, anyway, gentlemen, can you just give us your conclusions? Because we're about to wrap it up now. Just briefly, less than a minute.
From me,
mm,
I would like to direct DEC and SEC on those tankers. We need that case. It will be heard as Zambian. Then on the issue of that faith, Musonda, we need it also. That is on public domain. We also need this can go up to Mr. President, His Excellency, uh, on the ZESCO body or Minister of Energy. Look
mhm.
on his board to dissolve it and put the right people there. We need to dissolve cartels. Let the right people take positions and do the right thing for the Zambians. If
Yeah,
there are some other board, again, which is doing something, maybe I cannot go in details, but let the president and the ministers also look on that, because you can't just fire maybe a top like a top man, then you replace with a top man. They are down, they are cartels. That
yeah. They
cartels
are
will
the worst.
influence some others and destroy the things. I end there.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're
Definitely.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think for me, I would just anyway. I didn't talk about the tankers, but I saw that the minister inspecting the tankers, and when I looked at that, I knew that these guys are not really genuine in their, they are not the right people to give tanker. Why are you giving these guys? They all looked like cadres, and they're saying this company, the name of this company, which was in charge. I said, how can the government buy this and then give it to this company to be running? I mean, this is supposed to be putting some people that are know into business and put a plan and then employ the youth, let them run this thing, because it was literally a fake presentation to me. They present a woman to say, oh, we are empowering even women, drivers and all that. So it was so much artificial. And then looking at first, it's that deal that basically is gonna lead to the people behind it, because it's no way the woman can keep the money and think that money is the business of stones and all that. There should be a tracing, how this they'll be traced up. And one thing I just wanted to use, you did a program last time about ZDA,
Hmm.
that deal with South African. I think
Hmm.
that deal needs to be to be campaigned against. The youth should be campaigned against, because that's a loss of money too. It's the same thing we're talking about. Money being lost
It's
to
true.
fake investors who are not interested for Zambians, but for themselves. So these are things you need to start, demolishing and putting a proper foundation to have Zambians benefit from it.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have been Z Corner, and here we talk about, issues affecting Zambia and how we can basically get to add value to Zambia. So we are going to be live tomorrow at 20 hours Zambian time, 8 p.m. Central African time.
Do
and
you know
we
what?
are and
Sabota,
and we are going to, continue talking about these things and just help contribute to the development of Zambia. Thank you very much for watching
Mr.
this
Muna.
video up to this particular moment. And
Mr. Muna.
yeah, let me just conclude that. So thank you very much. We will talk to you tomorrow. So talk to you a little bit later. Thank you very much. Share this video everywhere. Have a blessed evening.